Hey, what's going on, guys? Today's video I'm going to show you how to strip down a speaker for scrap metal, scrap copper, and recyclable materials. And I found these ones by the dumpster. These are Sony, and of course very old, as you can tell. It's a stand-up speaker, yeah, floor speaker, but this is, we're talking 19 probably 90s, somewhere around that era, with the wood. Nowadays they make the wood a darker color, or kind of a more sleeker look. There's the other one over there, and so as you can tell, it's pretty old. And so first thing we're going to do here is they included the speaker wire with it right up here, and there's more around the back. So this is very easily strippable for pure copper, so we're going to go ahead and take that, and this is it. So let's begin. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to obviously strip this. We're going to lay that off to the side, and then we're going to come around to the back. And on the back right here, you see more wiring connected right in the back right here. Now you can clip it right here if you want, or you can dismantle the speakers and get the extra, little bit in there, but we'll actually get to that later on. So first thing we're going to do here is, if you're in a pinch and you don't want to grab the whole thing and you just want to get the wire, take your nippers and get that there. And since there's no screws anywhere around the edges or on the back, we're going to have to take a flathead, jam it in there, and pop this screen off so we can have access to the speakers. If you don't want to pop it off, you can always tear it down the middle, but I'd just recommend popping it off like that. So they definitely don't make products like they did back in the 90s and 80s. So this is all glued on, so it doesn't just pop off. And if you rip this, you see the speakers, but you don't see any screws or nuts, and you actually have to take off this sheet to get to it. And the back, it's all composite wood, so you just wrap it with a hammer, but it's going to be a little messy. But just remove that top wood sheet, and then you're going to get to the speakers there. So this again is for older speakers. Alright guys, I'm in. So glue and these staples all around. So you just gotta put some muscle into it with a hammer. Again, these things are built like a steel brick, man. So anyway, we're in. Top speaker, mid speaker, low speaker, and that's it down there. So here's our rest of our wire there. That came through the bottom. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna unscrew all these screws, and we're gonna take off the speakers. Okay, now back here in the back, you can try to dismantle this as best you can, but I just clip the copper off. Okay, and again, it's up to you if you want to strip that or not. Adds up if you do, if you have the time. If not, just recycle it for insulated copper. Now this is my first time doing speakers, so I want to take it fully apart, but you advanced guys might see some of the stuff I'm doing and just think it's a waste of time, but I'm just going to do this for the beginners. But I ripped up the mat, and of course got the little copper wires that you saw coming here. You can cut off that, and I'm not sure exactly what this is. Might just be some cheap steel, but there's some connectors there if that's worth your time. This should be all steel, but what's good about this is that a scrap person always needs a magnet. Speakers always have magnets on the back. So I jammed a flathead in this portion right here, pulled this up, and guess what? That is one big old magnet right there. So that is steel, of course, because it sticks. And let's see, that is steel. So the whole thing here is steel. If it was aluminum, of course it wouldn't stick to it. But look what I see here. Let's pull this out. This is some copper around it, but of course there's steel around it, so let's get that out. So good news, the magnet does not stick to this, and inside here I believe is just a little cheap portion of aluminum. So it all adds up if you're willing to take the time to dismantle it. If you don't feel like it, of course just grab the insulated copper wire from the back, clip it off real quick next to the dumpster, and be on your way. But these are some parts I needed. I needed a good magnet, and let's rip the copper off of this. Okay, here's my copper, and here's my little piece of aluminum here. It's not pretty, but it doesn't matter. It still weighs the same. And you also might want to check that for if it's copper coated, but check this out though. This is a good way to tell if it's copper coated or not. Your magnet will actually stick to copper coated, and this one does not, so that's pure copper. And of course aluminum does not stick to a magnet. Steel does. Cast aluminum does not. So the stuff that does not stick to a magnet, that's worth a lot more. Just keep that in mind, guys. Now let's go on to do the next ones, and so I'm not going to show that on camera, but same thing. Unscrew it, bang it out. This is going to be obviously a smaller magnet, less copper, and even that little tweeter for the treble, same thing. So just strip it down and then pop this bad boy back into the recycle bin, or if you want to scrap wood, you can scrap wood, but I'm just here for the metals, guys. If you guys want to get your hands on any of the tools you saw in my video, look in the description box below for these tools. This thing is really cool. It's like 20 bucks, Black & Decker, small battery but rechargeable. This is good for on the go. You can put this in a backpack for if you're taking bicycle rides, dumpster diving. Put this in the back of your car. Forward, reverse, and then check this out. This is pretty cool. It's pivot, so go straight or flip it around for like this. And I do have a big old hunkin' one with, you know, the big old 12 volt 9 volt battery, but this one is really convenient for just something quick. So again, look in the description box below for all my tools used in this video.